In this video, I'm going to show you how to have the easiest time farming ENDO. I'll cover in detail each warframe we use for this method with the tips and builds related to them. And you'll be able with your 4-man squad to farm more than 2000 ENDO per minute. The ENDO is considered as a mod on the drop table. So having one of your squad members with a mod drop booster is mandatory if you want to significantly increase its drop rate. You can get a 3-day mod booster from sorties, Archon hunts, or buy them at Barrowski tier for 500 ducats and 175,000 credits. If you don't have a booster, I recommend farming MK3 Redjack parts and scrap them for ENDO. But let's talk about the YAM Arena method. You want to run this mission in Steel Path as it will also increase the mod drop chance by 100%. The goal of this mission is to kill 25 EV Greeneers as fast as possible and get ENDO from their body parts, using a Khora for a Strangledome augment, a Nidus to grab enemies, and 2 Nekroses to desecrate dismembered body parts. The role of Khora will be to support the squad by priming enemies and keep everyone alive, utilizing Protective Sling from the Vazarin Operator School combined with Magus Cloud for plus 300% voiceling radius. Khora will use the Dispensary Helmim Studium ability to give energy and ammo sustain to herself and Nidus. Her build requires Steel Charge to buff the Nekroses, Pilfering Strangledome augment for 65% chance of dropping additional loot, Natural Talent for good casting speed, Streamline to have enough efficiency at the start of the mission, a ton of duration to have more time to support the squad, about 50% range to give Nekroses an easy time killing enemies, and Equilibrium combined with Arcane Energize as it's mandatory for the start of the mission. You will also need to mod Fetch on your Venari. This is how you want to play Khora. At the start of the mission, bullet jump to the Elf Orb on the right, Venari will grab it with Fetch and Equilibrium will convert it into 165 energy, which will allow you to cast Strangledome on Dispensary at the spot. Then Void Sling one time to protect your squad, and command Venari to stand in healing posture so it doesn't run around and slow enemies. Then start priming and Void Sling every 5 seconds. The role of Nidus will be to grab enemies in Khora's dome, as well as helping with priming. You can utilize Wellspring from Xeneric Operator School for better energy sustain. Nidus will use Pull Helmim Studium ability with its augment to grab ENDO as we don't have a companion. His build requires enemy radar to see enemies on the map, Natural Talent for faster casting speed, we want to mod for the maximum range to grab them, the best efficiency possible, and lower duration, modding for a max transient fortitude for more grabs. You don't want to go for lower duration than that as each new arena instance has a random modifier and the reduced duration one will disable your lava. As a Nidus at the start of the mission, just drop your Operator Wellspring ability and grab enemies in the dome while priming. For both Khora and Nidus, this is the Epitaph build we use. It's an excellent AoE weapon to primer that doesn't require to be reloaded, since our gameplay is going to be extremely active, and we can equip the Ribcast modding Amalgam Ribcast True Steel for plus 100% gore chance to dismember enemies in case our Epitaph or abilities kills them. The role of Nekros is to kill, dismember enemies and desecrate them for extra loot. Our weapon must have over 50% of their physical IPS damage as slash damage to dismember. I recommend the Guandao Prime as the Shimmering Blight stance allows us to crouch in the middle of Khora's dome, to make sure to kill enemies inside it as Khora's dome is rather small, but also allow the Khora player to void sling us easily. Note that at the start of the mission you want to use Opening Slam from Naramon Operator School to stack twice as fast your combo counter, and of course activate your Desecrate. Since our Guandao has 70% slash damage and YAM Arena's alloy armor enemies are resistant to this damage type, we want to mod for radiation to counter slash resistance. Don't worry, modding elemental damage on your weapon doesn't affect the values required to dismember. We then mod for crit, smite Greeneer and condition overload as we use Epitaphs with Arcane Secondary Encumber. Nekros will use Pull Helmim Studium ability with its augment to grab ENDO as we don't have a companion. We want Deathspell augment to no longer consume energy while desecrating corpses. And the build is all about min-maxing our melee weapon damage using Steel Charge with triple Gladiator mods, Arcane Fury and Strike. Finally, we are modding Natural Talent on some range for our Pull ability.